Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and what if I told you I always felt like the whole system was rigged in a way to keep you poor, but the more information I discovered, I realized that the system isn't really rigged that way whatsoever. I know educational systems are set up to build employees. I know that people out there are trying to build businesses by helping you become rich. But what I really figured out that when it comes down to being poor, it's a slow process of giving up your cash flow. And in this video, we're going to break this down by breaking down the 5 most impactful things that you can do financially that really do steal the power away from you. Like 2019 to 2020, we had around over 2 million new millionaires added to the list. On top of that, I found this out a long time ago, and is that 80% of millionaires did not inherit any money. They're first-time millionaires. So there's really no big excuse to say, well, if they can do it, why can't I do it? The answer is you can do it, but it can become a lot harder if you fall for the traps very early on. Like when I was growing up, the big 3 traps for me were basically having a kid way too early, going to jail, or not becoming educated. Like those 3 things, if I did not get those 3 things correctly, I would be in a whole different position, or it would be immensely harder to be where I am today. But by doing this correctly, you actually avoid it, okay? So in this video, if you follow these 5 things right here, you will have a tremendously easy time when it comes to accumulating wealth. And by the way, one more thing. I'm talking about millionaires, but also remember the average millionaire is in their 50s. So if you're watching this video and you're in your 20s or your 30s, the answer is you got time, relax. It's not gonna happen overnight. And if you do hear that overnight thing, remember there are people out there that make money by making you promises. I'm not one of those, so I'm not here to promise you anything, okay? As always, guys, like this video. On top of that, also subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified if you're new to the channel, because I post videos every single week on money, investing, and also passive income. Now, the very first trap that you don't want to fall into is all of these new apps that are coming out that are all about buy now, pay later. Now, I'm happy, because when I was in college, this stuff did not exist, but today it does exist. And back then, I probably would have bought me a big flat screen TV for like $2,000. Until this day, I probably would still be paying for it. So some of these apps are like Affirm, you have Klarna, and you also have, for example, Afterpay. But one of the most popular ones is basically Affirm. So the other day, I go to Walmart. I'm buying myself some new AirPods because I always wear AirPods, and I'm like, yo, let me get some AirPods real quick. And the lady tells me, well, do you have Affirm, or are you interested in it? You know, you can pay it off in 4 interest-free payments, and by the way, every payment is bi-weekly, so you really get like 2 months. It's better than a credit card because you get 2 months instead of 1 month. And I'm like, how does anybody accomplish financial freedom or any type of wealth when everything they buy, they literally have to put it on some payment plan? Now, it sounds pretty cool to say, well, Tommy, there are no fees, no hidden payments, no late fees, none of that stuff. And in reality, if you pay it off in 2 months, like, it's free, right? So what's the big deal? The big deal is you don't hear about anybody becoming wealthy by taking 2 months for free to pay something off they could have just basically paid today, okay? That's not how wealth is accomplished. And the big thing is that most of the time, by the way, when you think about it like this, right? Tommy, it's basically free. If you're smart, it's gonna be free. Most people are smart, by the way. And on top of that, there are a whole bunch of other websites and merchandisers out there like Casper, the mattress company. They say, well, they give you 24 months for free, interest free, if you buy their $2,000 bag, which is crazy, right? But the idea is, most of the time, when you buy these things, you don't have the money. So when you buy them, you get stuck paying for this stuff over time. And it goes from 2 months to 3 months to 6 months to 12 months to beyond. And it never really ends. And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, this company made around $870 million in revenue in 2021. So guess what? Most of those people, they're not paying on time, right? And that's the big deal. You don't want to give up a bit of your cash flow, which, by the way, what I mean by cash flow is basically, if you think about yourself as a business, what you produce is the cash, right? The way it flows is cash flow. So you produce like $1,000 a week, for example. Now you give this company $200 a week. And then slowly, another item, another item. And before you know it, you have a bunch of items which lose value, aren't worth anything, and then you just basically have no cash flow going out. And now you're back to paycheck to paycheck. You don't want that. Now, number 2 is payday loans. Now, payday loans to me always sounded weird, but they made it cool in 2022 and also 2020 and 2021, okay? When I was working in college and I was getting paid bi-weekly, I always felt like bi-weekly took way too long. And then when I got another job and it was weekly, I was like, well, this is way too long too. I want it to be daily, you know what I mean? So it never really ends. You want the money the minute you're done working for it. And by the way, I gotta say, it's kind of crazy if you think about it. If we take our money to a bank, we expect to get interest, right? But we work for hours, right? The job has been done, the money has been earned, but our employer holds onto the money and pays it to us back, for example, in 1 week or 2 weeks, in 1 month, and they have that money there available and we don't get paid any interest, okay? That's kind of weird, but that's a new video for another day. But the idea that with one of these pay loan companies, right, they know exactly how much money you make, because that's how it works, right? You have companies, for example, like the Dave app, the Earnin app, and you also have another one which is called Chime, which also allows it too now. But the idea is, imagine now, you have a paycheck, $1,000 a month, or let's say, for example, $500 a week, and now all of a sudden you're borrowing $50, $100 for gas and this and that. And now when your paycheck comes in, before you even get the check, somebody already owns a piece of your check. Again, you're giving up more and more of your cash flow. And with your cash flow is how you're gonna be able to invest, to buy your property, to actually build some passive income over time. But you can't do that when before you even get the check, you already owe somebody, right? And we all owe somebody because we always got Uncle Sam, right? We gotta pay him all the time when you go to jail, right? You want to avoid that. And then no, not just him, but now you also have the rent. You also have the food you got to buy. But then on top of that, you also got to pay because you borrowed money on your check already. That's not something you want to do. Forget about all that interest free and they charge you interest, obviously. And then they tell you, well, there's no late payment. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm not interested in it, okay? You don't want to owe money and pay interest on money that is your money because you earned it, but you can't wait. The big problem here is often you don't have a budget. And without a budget, you don't know what's coming in and you don't know what's going out. And then if you have more coming out than you have going in, you're always going to need to borrow from somewhere to kind of figure it out. Now, number 3 here. Big one, massive. I love this business, by the way. Credit card companies, okay? They steal a lot of your cash flow, a lot of your money. And here's why. Because they always have this amazing marketing tactic. The first one we always hear is, you got to build credit. To build credit, you get a credit card. I mean, it's in the name, right? Credit card, right? Credit card. So build credit, get a credit card. And on top of that, they give you points and they give you benefits. Like, I heard about this credit card that now gives you like, I think it was like $100 or some money like that every single year to ride Uber. That's pretty cool. And some credit cards now say, hey, if you get our credit card, it comes with free Netflix. You know, all this stuff is all a way to make money. So think about it. We're not going to give you a benefit if we're not going to find a way to make money. And the big money is basically they charge you 15% to 25%. And how do you get wealthy? When if you invest into your retirement account or brokerage account or your IRA, whatever it is, you'll make like 8 to 12%, but you're paying this credit card 15 to 20% or 25%, by the way, or some people even higher. And that's a massive deal. So now all of a sudden you bought something, your goal was, I'm going to pay it off in 1 month. Everything's going to be fine. No interest. Something happens in that month, now you're down to 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. And one big trick they do is often they offer you these introductory rates of, let's say, for example, hey, you get to buy whatever you want, no interest for 18 months. And now it's been like the first month you bought a bunch of stuff, 6 months a bunch of stuff, 10th month a bunch of stuff. Now you owe all this money because you maxed it out. You're like, there's no interest, no problem. And now you're down to like your 17th month and you got to pay off all this stuff in full. And what they didn't tell you is that all that interest that has been compounded, you still owe it. You just don't owe it if you pay the balance off in full. That's the crazy thing, right? So you want to be very careful with this stuff. More than often, my rule is like, am I gonna get really any benefits from getting 2% or 3% like I'm buying groceries? The answer is no. But more than often, I'm gonna overspend if I use credit. So to build credit, what I do is this. I basically just have 1 or 2 small bills on my credit cards If you have one credit card, that's fine. Two credit cards, that's fine too. Doesn't really matter. You put one small bill on it, like your Netflix bill, or for example, your internet bill or your phone bill, and you put it to set it, for example, automatically pay itself in full every month. It registers a payment every month, which is good for your payment history. And on top of that, it keeps the balance very low, which is also good for your credit. And over time, you build credit, but you have no debt to worry about. That's the way I do it. That's the way I built it. And I have an over 700 credit score, 760 something, I think, which is excellent credit. But I don't have any credit card debt, which is amazing because I'm not paying somebody 35%. And it's going to be very difficult to try to get rich while you're doing that, okay? Now, number 4 here, which is a big one, is the car loan. Now, cars, I know people, this is like a crazy thing and a crazy subject because I know people that their big triumph in life is to be able to buy a new car or a used car, just to get a car overall. And then the big thing is they don't really own the car. They just borrow the money to buy this car. And they kind of say, Tommy, well, I'm paying 3% or 4% or 8% on this car. It's no big deal. But in reality, I'm not going to talk about all the details here, but a car is a terrible investment. You turn $1 into 50 cents in 5 years, and you turn $1 into 90 cents the minute you drive out the lot because it keeps the value in over time so crazy. And the big thing is, again, everything is cash flow. So the average car payment is like $500 to $700 a month. If you just save $700 a month for 12 months, if I'm not mistaken here, it's like $8,400. And for $8,400, you could buy a good, decent used vehicle, like proper, okay? You could do a lot better. So my system is very simple here. Just buy what you can afford right now. And most of us can afford to basically save for like a month or 3 months and buy a $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 used vehicle. It's not going to be pretty, by the way. We all know this. But then that same $700 you would have paid a dealership, just save that money on the side. And after the year is over, you have $8,400. And with that, you can buy yourself the car you actually want, right? A good used vehicle, you ride it around until the wheels fall off for the next 5-10 years, maintain it, take care of it, and then boom, you're good. And that money you would have spent on that car, you invest it and you build some passive income over time. But everything, a lot of it, guys, it's just cash flow. That's what I noticed, okay? Because you kind of start off with a good hefty chunk of money per month you basically make, but little by little, all these things start to take money away from you. Subscriptions, loans, debt, credit cards, pay loans, and then you have this and that, and before you know it, what's left is nothing. Now that's why 64% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. Now, number 5 and the last one here is a mortgage. I mean, by the way, it's a pretty cool fact, right? 97% of millionaires, they are homeowners, okay? Which is pretty cool. And half of those millionaires, they'll live in that home for like 20 years, which is amazing because most people, the average person, they're switching homes every 5 years. So they never build up any equity and never build up any value in their homes really, which is a bad thing too, by the way. On top of that, their average home is like $320,000. So how does an average individual that has a bunch of debts, credit card debts, personal loan debt, car loan debt, and just basically has all their cash flow basically just being stifled out, how do they justify buying a $300,000 to $400,000 to $500,000 home and then switching it every 5 years or whatever? The answer is they can't justify it, but they still do it. My point is, guys, okay, throughout this whole video, what I realize is it's not really they. As far as, for example, there's a certain entity that's keeping us poor, and it's not just like the system with the employee stuff, because a lot of millionaires, they're employees, they have jobs. I'm an employee in a sense, right? But I'm like self-employed or whatever you want to call it, okay? But the idea is you can have a job and be a millionaire, but the big thing is that there is a lot of marketing out there. And the marketing and the businesses out there that want your money, they find clever ways to get you involved because everyone around wants to make money and you have money, so they want your money. And what they do is, well, if I can convince you to give up, for example, let's just say, for example, 10% of what you make a month to put it towards this thing right here, and I charge you interest on this, and now I'm making a little bit more money, and then this person pulls from here and that and here and this, all of a sudden what you're left with is, I live paycheck to paycheck, because you start off with a clear account of, let's say, $1,000 a month, but then you have $200 for the credit card, you have the rent, you have the groceries, the car payments, you have this and that, and then that's how you're left with $0. And then you want to build wealth, but you can't do it because basically there isn't money left over. So the big thing you can do is, before you do anything, think about, how much money am I giving up for this? That's the big thing. How much of my cash flow am I giving up to have this item or whatever? And if you don't need it, don't buy it. And on top of that, if you do need it, just save up for it a little longer. Or if you do need something, buy the inferior version of it. Like, I need a new phone, but I have an iPhone X, which is super old. I want the new one, but I don't want to buy that right now. So I just bought a new battery for like 30 bucks, and I'm like, okay, I can get like another 2 years off of this phone. No need to go ahead and buy a new $1,000 phone. Does that make sense? That's the idea. Guys, that's it, okay? Thanks for watching. I hope this video actually helps you in some way. And if you made it all the way here, comment down below cash flow, so I know you made it all the way here, because it really is all cash flow. How much do you have coming in? How much do you have going out? And what is actually taking the money out, okay? If it's investments and more opportunities, that's a good thing. But if it's just basically like liabilities and so on, that's not a good thing. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified, comment down below any questions. On top of that, here's another video. And up here is my face. Click and subscribe. And as always, Long Term Team officially out.